Well, hello everyone. It's a Tuesday evening, February the 3rd, and this is 270 weather for the 270 area code and beyond. And I'm Chris Allen, the same guy you see on News 40, WNKY, every morning on sunrise at 6 a.m., and then again at 9 a.m., and then again at noon. I appreciate if you tune in when you get a chance to. Uh, just to get you caught up on what's going on, as you can see by radar, we've got rain. It's rain. Told you it was going to be rain, and it's rain. There wasn't anything else that was going to happen out of this, at least here in the immediate 270 area code. Now, on the backside of this, as you can see, there's a front passing through. Somebody might get a little something out of this, but overall, we're talking about primarily rain. And as that cold front begins to come through that you see there, then we might see a little something switch over. But right now, everything is warm enough. In fact, I'll turn on some of the temperatures here so you can see what's happening. You've got 37 in Glasgow. You've got 40 here in Bowling Green as of 6:50 p.m. You go into Middle Tennessee, we're talking about low to mid 40s until you get close to the front. And then you see temperatures that are falling off now into the 30s and even lower 30s as you go further northwest. So once this boundary makes its way through, we're going to see an end to the precipitation for the most part, and things are going to get colder. It's not going to be real cold, but it's going to be cold enough to be concerned that we could see maybe a little frozen precipitation on the back end side of this. Really, the thing I'm noticing that could happen just based on temperature profile, that is the temperatures above us and the temperatures at the ground. Perfect setup for some of this light rain to maybe freeze over and cause an icy spot late tonight or early tomorrow morning. That is certainly the case. So we just need to be cautious of that. The warmer temperatures today really did a good number on the snow and ice pack that's been here since last weekend. So that was good to see. In fact, the official high today in Bowling Green, 45. 45. Man, it's been a long time. It's been, I can't even remember when it was 45 last time. And that was only 3 degrees shy of the normal high temperature of 48. And then the low for the day has been 24, and that was early this morning. So, I mean, nice moderation of temperatures. We got a southerly flow today, and then in came the rain, and all of it's been rain. And I don't think any of it around here is going to be anything else but rain, except for, like I said, on the back end of this, there could be some maybe freezing drizzle. It's a possibility. So that in itself is, I think, mostly good news that we're seeing right now. I go to the composite radar, and you can see that everything here is in the form of rain. Let me turn on the precipitation type. Now, it's not until you get up to, say, north of Bardstown and Nelson County, you get north of Springfield, you're getting into Marion County, those areas, and you're seeing that purple. Well, it just updated. There you go. A little update there showing the squeezing in of that little purple shaded area where there's some sleet, maybe the red over here of some freezing rain. But everything north of that, Lawrenceburg, Lexington, Mount Sterling, up to Moorhead, Frankfort, even Metro Louisville, has been some light snow, and they got some big snowflakes out of some of that today. Let's, out of curiosity, go to the camera in Louisville And this is the way it looks currently. 32 degrees. Winds are out of the east at 6. And you notice this looks like fog, and probably some of it is snow, but there has been fog too. In fact, there have been some dense fog alerts and advisories being posted for parts of the area, and that includes us here in the 270 and Bowling Green area. Here's Moorhead, Kentucky. Oh, there's snow coming down. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I love how we're able to just hit some of these cameras thanks to Hazcams, Weather Logic, and WeatherWise, all the tools that I use here at home to monitor the weather. And it's just cool. Look at, they got a nice little fresh snow coming down in Moorhead, Kentucky. That's live, ladies and gentlemen. That's not tape. It's live. Now let's go down to Litchfield. And in Litchfield, you've had some rain, and it looks like you're still getting rain, but your temperature is at 36 with a northeast wind at 13. Now, as the front comes through, some of this light rain may change over to a brief period of some snowflakes or maybe some sleet mixed in, but the precipitation is just about over. So I don't think you're going to have to deal with too much more of that. Let's go way over into western Kentucky, Gage, Kentucky. And look at this. Skies are cloudy, but there's nothing falling from the sky there. It's just a very quiet evening in far western Kentucky. Here's the bigger view of what's going on. There's your low pressure systems riding along this frontal boundary and beginning to move east. And so all the precipitation that's associated with it is also going to move east as we get on into the night. Now, overnight tonight, early tomorrow, there could be a few places that see a little something as far as mixed precipitation or maybe even a little snowflake or snow flurry. I am going to put in maybe, and I mentioned this earlier today on News 40, I think it was either 9 a.m. or noon. I mentioned that I'm going to leave in a small flurry chance for Wednesday because we're going to have moisture trapped just above us in wake of this system. And usually in these cases, you get that moisture trapped just above you, and it's just cold enough to where snow flurry can just come by. And I think that's about all we're going to see tomorrow because temperatures will be right there around freezing. And so usually we do get something like that. So some light drizzle, maybe some freezing drizzle with the fog, and maybe a few flyby flurries for the day tomorrow. And that should be it with this particular system. Okay, let's move on and show you what's going on with the Kentucky Mesonet Network from Western Kentucky University as they provide all the real-time data as we're looking at where it's been warmest, I should say, has been right here in southern Kentucky. 40s today and 40s still right now. These are the current temperatures, 38 at the Corvette plant here in Bowling Green and 38 at Western Zag Expo Center. It's 38 in Franklin, but it's 41 in Scottsville, 42 in Tompkinsville, and we're seeing 40s even out along the Cumberland Plateau. You go north, and then you start to see a lot of 30s, mid to upper 30s, and same goes back west. How warm did it get today in all of these locations? Well, the warmest, and this is nice to see this little bit of yellow, kind of a yellowish green coming into view here because it's been a while since we've seen temperatures, starting this warm or getting this warm. It has been a while. But you see that we got to 44 at the Corvette plant, 43 at Western's Ag Expo Center, and officially here at the airport, 45. 45 was the high temperature. But we had a lot of 46s, 48s, 49s. Is there a 50 in here anywhere? I'm looking for a 50, going once, going twice. No, 49 looks to be the warmest temperature here in southern Kentucky today, and that was in Burkesville. So not bad, not bad. We started this morning, as I mentioned, in the 20s. There was a 19 in Burkesville. So Burkesville started as one of the coldest temperatures this morning and ended up being one of the warmest. And so these are the low temperatures for the day, mostly 20s and a few 30s. So how much rainfall today? Tenth of an inch or less, 11 hundredths, Ag Expo Center, 8 hundredths at the Corvette plant, 11 hundredths in Scottsville, a tenth of an inch in Barron County. Looks like the most is going to be Tompkinsville and Albany, Clinton County, 18 hundredths, but I see a 21 hundredths of an inch of rain in Russell Springs, Jamestown, Russell County today. So you're the winner on the rainfall. But it was nice to see it just rain and not snow and not ice. Oh, thank the Lord. And the rain that came in has actually helped the melting process. So that's a good thing. Winds right now from the north, 5 to 10, and they're going to be more northerly now that we're getting into tonight and behind the frontal boundary. Is there a breeze of any kind? Back into western Kentucky. Yeah, we're seeing some of the winds from the north at maybe 10 to 15. Now that may start to produce a wind chill. Wind chills, not too much right now. So not too bad. Okay, let's go to the maps. Here is our system. Here's Bowling Green, sitting right in the middle of your screen, and here's those low-pressure systems riding along the front and bringing the rain. So I don't know if the rain melted everything everywhere, if like at your place, it all depends on how much rain and snow you got from the winter storm and how long it's been sitting there without any melting. So, given that, and given the amount of rain that we picked up today, it's hard to say that if it washed all of it away. I don't know. Only you can determine that at your house. And I'm sure that if you're still out of school because of the winter storm now going on a week and a half, they will be out early in the morning and they'll be surveying and driving down roads and determining whether they're going to go back to school or not. I don't know. They don't tell me that, and I don't want to know that. Like I've said here before, I do not want to deal with any of the school systems. If they're going to be open, closed, running late, we can now all do that electronically. And you already know anyway. This is 2026. This is not 1986. It's 2026, and you get your personal little emails and text notifications on your phone. You already know if you're going to school or not, in most cases. Now, some of you may not find out until in the morning, but that's not up to me. I just want that noted. That's not up to me. So, but I think the warm air today and the rain did a good job of maybe not completely, but in a big way, got rid of the rain and snowpack that's been here since last weekend. So let's see what's next here. So here's the rain coming through, and you can see most of the mixy, wintry stuff is going to be way to the north of us. That's not to say some of this might not end as something a little, you know, maybe light freezing drizzle, or maybe an ice pellet or something like that, sleet. But I just don't think it's going to be much. The only thing that I really would use as a word of caution would be if the temperatures get enough below freezing tonight, then certainly whatever is wet out there, either from melting or from rain or what's coming down this evening, when that freezes over, there will be icy spots tomorrow morning. So here's midnight. The system moves away. Still some leftovers here just east of Bowling Green. Not really much of any big deal. That's 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Here's midday, 12 noon tomorrow. And we're actually going to begin to see more of a southwest wind flow on the heels of this system moving east. It's not going to warm us up that much, but it's going to prevent us from getting any colder. That's key. Here's 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. We could see maybe some dense fog over in far eastern Kentucky. Here we go into 6 a.m. Thursday and 6 p.m. Thursday evening. High pressure builds in. Now, look, there's another warm front. This is the first time I can tell you that in several weeks I've noticed a consistency of warm fronts instead of cold fronts, because pretty much all through the fall season and now through the winter season, there have been nothing but a parade of cold fronts, one after the other. We call them clipper systems because they move in fast. They don't all have moisture. Most of them are dry, and they just change the wind direction and temperature a little bit. But now I'm starting to see warm fronts for the first time, and I can't tell you when. And that's a good sign. That means things are a-changing, ladies and gentlemen. Things are a-changing, little by little. This is 6 p.m. Thursday evening. Let's go to Friday morning. And here's a little system that is on the heels of this warm front that is going to have enough moisture blowing down from this low pressure system up over Lake Michigan. And this next clipper system, well, there's a clipper. Yeah, just when I say I'm sick of seeing the clipper systems, here comes another one. But at first, we're going to have this warm front that is going to help warm us up to around 50 on Friday, maybe even the low 50s. But then the temperatures are going to come tumbling down as we get into Friday night, because behind that will be some Arctic air. Look at this high pressure. It is a monster. It is a big, big high pressure. And it's going to bring some colder air. Not the coldest, not really cold, but let's just call it chilly air, okay? Into Saturday morning. Here we go into Sunday morning. A little system gets organized over eastern Oklahoma, and with a warm front trailing out to the east, cold front to the west. Here we go into Monday. That system just kind of crawls across the south, picks up on a little bit of Pacific moisture. Our big, big high pressure continues to move east over the Great Lakes. And really, it's not going to get that cold. We'll get into the low 50s, as I mentioned, on Friday, cool down a little bit Friday night, but then by Saturday and into the weekend, we stay fairly stable into the upper 40s. And that's exactly where we're supposed to be as a temperature for this time of the year. Now, here's Tuesday. Now, I will tell you that with this big high pressure ridge along the East Coast, we should be warming back into the upper 40s to even low to mid 50s, but we've got this to deal with. You've got moisture ahead of the system, you've got moisture behind it. This is going to be a player in our weather time next week, maybe Wednesday or so, Thursday next week. It'll be the system to watch, but that's way out. That's over a week away. I don't want to get into a lot of speculation, but it does look like this is going to be a system that we're going to have to deal with next week at some point. So let's take a look at the variables here, and let me move my big old head out of the way. I've been trying to make a note each night when I do this that I need to move my head out of the way on some of these maps. Okay, so here I'm moving this over right there. Okay, we'll leave that there. Now, a couple of nights ago, I accidentally got rid of the News 40 and the 270 weather logos, and I forgot to put them back, but they're back. So just in case you don't know who I am or where I work. Hey, we're getting, I have new viewers every day, so try to let them know. And some of them, are from other states that have no idea what News 40 is or 270 weather. They don't even know where I am. They just watch it because it's weather. And that's how you build audience. There's a lot of them out there. Okay, so let's look at the here and now. This is the European model, which I can show you in comparison to what I just showed you, what we think is going to happen. Now, here's our system coming through right now. There's that little sliver of snow right there on top. And here is all the rain, of course. Now, okay, it's moving away, so I'm not going to dwell too much on that. Once we get into tonight, things begin to calm down. We'll have a fairly tranquil day tomorrow. I do think it's going to stay cloudy, and as I mentioned, probably some flurries just flying by in the upper flow. And because of that colder upper flow, you get these little pieces of energy that will slide through and produce just flurries. You won't see them show up on the map like this, but they will be there. I guarantee you. Somebody's going to get flurries tomorrow. So once we get past that and move on to Thursday, we see that we're still in the trough here. We're still in the cold, the deep cold air. It goes all the way to Florida. Yeah, even Florida is feeling this. And you saw over the last couple of days the record-breaking snows over the Carolinas, especially North Carolina. Whew, man, oh man, nasty. And they're still cold over there. But look at the warmth that's taking place out west. Oh, that looks so good. Big dome of high pressure, and the flow here just building and building and building the warm air. So when is that warm air coming our way? Well, let's take a look. Here we go into Friday. Oh, notice the colder air starts to retreat a little more. Now, this is where I showed you that little piece of energy that's going to come diving down out of Canada on Friday. We're going to have this frontal boundary that's, well, I didn't want that to be red. Let's go back to blue. Here's the frontal boundary that's going to make a big dive southward. And it's going to have enough moisture with it in the upper levels to cause some lake effect snows to take place, but some of those lake effect snows are going to try to blow off down to the south. Well, the combination of all that may produce a few light snow showers in parts of northern and eastern Kentucky. You see it right there on Friday afternoon and evening, but it's gone pretty quickly. I don't think we'll see that down here in southern Kentucky. Now, as we get into the weekend, I want you to notice that here we go into Saturday. Now, this is trying to show little pieces of energy right there. I just don't think that's going to be much of anything. We'll see. But yeah, that cold upper flow will start to retreat a little bit more as the ridge and the warmer air starts to build out west. So I know. It's like we try to warm up and then we get shot back down. We try to warm up and here comes another shot of cold air. Well, just hang in there. Here we go. It's Saturday into Sunday. We're holding that line right there. And then, oh, now look at this. Monday, we are finally seeing the warm air cut through Kentucky. And the flow begins to be much warmer. Yeah. Now, by Monday, we're going to be in the upper 40s to around 50. But then we go even warmer as we head into Tuesday of next week. And look at that blue line retreat. Oh boy, look at this. It's going to retreat as far north as the Great Lakes and maybe southern Canada. That would be nice. Now, this is Wednesday, Thursday next week. You see a few showers. This would all be rain showers. And then we get a more, what we call a zonal flow. That's that's an upper flow. It's a west to east flow. And usually that means warmer air. And that's certainly going to be the case, I think, as we get into next week. Now, this is next Thursday into next Friday. And this, I can tell you this right here, and I mentioned this last night, this is what some of the hypecasters, the blowhards, the grandstanders, the posers are honing in on, because look at the date. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I wouldn't be afraid of that. The next day, of course, is Saturday the 14th, Valentine's Day. And I'm sure you've seen on social media by now that those same posers, grandstanders, hypecasters, they're all predicting a major tornado outbreak on Valentine's Day. Oh my God. Don't buy it. Please don't buy it. Please don't come to me and go, Chris, is what they're saying true? Is this true? I'm going to look at you like this. Really? 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 Just don't buy it. It's way too soon. A lot can change between now and then. I know you've heard me say, those of you that are regular customers here, you've heard me say it time and time again, but just don't buy it yet. Okay? All right. So here we go. Now look at this. Temperatures are going up, and here's the key, more consistently. Now, we haven't had this yet. Whenever the temperature goes up, the next day or so, it gets knocked back down by another one of those cold fronts or a clipper system. And then we have to try to work our way back up. Then our momentum is crushed, because here comes another front right as we warm up, and then we have to climb back up that hill again. Well, look at what's happening up here. 35, 33, this is the next couple of days. Then look at that 50. And here's a good example of what I was just talking about. We go 50 on Friday, and then we go to 40 on Saturday. But then Sunday we go 53 and then 52 and then wait a minute. What do you say? Look at that. We go, yes, we take a 1 day dive from 50 to 40 Friday into Saturday, but then look at what happens after that. 53, 52, 59, 60, 58, 56, consistent warming. Ha ha ha. There ain't no ice and snow gonna hang around after this, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna totally get rid of it. Hallelujah. See, I told you just have to be patient. You got to wait on these things. All good things come to those who wait. And we've been waiting a long, long time. But as you can see there, this is the blend of models, and it looks good. This means that most of the, what we call the ensemble models, this is where we, like an ensemble, we pull the different models together, pour them in a blender, hit the blend button, and then pour them out, and this is what you see, or that's what you see up there. So, but this is not the deterministic. In other words, the deterministic of the models, or the ones that determine what we're really going to see. Well, we can't see that yet, because this is more of a long-term, long-range kind of a outlook, if you will. And so we can only really be very, very accurate within the next 2 or 3 days. Once you get beyond that, you're just playing the guessing game based on the information that you have. So I'm hopeful that this is going to hold up. And from the agreement of the ensemble of models that I'm looking at here, it's promising. Maybe, no, I wouldn't go as far as to say spring. We're still a ways off from that, but things are trending warmer, and that is a good thing. It means we're getting there. We're on the right track. So, okay, let's take a few of your comments here before we go. Let's see here. Rhonda, long time, over a week and a half. I know, because I've been talking about it. Becky, that's what I'm waiting for, warmer weather. You betcha. Danny, thank you, Chris. I can get back in the woods. Danny, what are you doing in the woods? I love playing with you guys. Charlene, that looks good. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Mary says, praise God. I do too. Whew. Robbie, love the warmer temps indeed. Yes, sir, Bob. Rhonda, hallelujah. Yes, clap of the hands. Yes, praise God, all that. Let's see here. Let me see if anybody... Oh, A. Marie Sullivan. My old bones will finally feel better. Whew, mine too. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I make no qualms about. In other words, I don't care if you know how old I am. I'm 63. Okay, I know I look really young for 63. But here's the thing. I've noticed more this winter that I'm getting older than I ever have in my life. I thought at some point I'm going to be like my grandpa, my grandma, some of my kinfolk that are older, and I'm going to start feeling it because they always told me, one of these days, Sonny, you're going to start feeling it. And they were right. And this was the year when I started feeling it. Oh, look at this. Carol. My sister is in St. Pete and saw a few flurries. She's talking about St. Petersburg, Florida. Flurries in Florida. Wow. Mary, I'll be glad when it's all gone. I agree. So much. So much. Let's see here. Here's Carol. My driveway is solid ice, Jackson Highway, 5 miles out, Glasgow. There's still a lot of people that's just can't get rid of it. The whole snow and ice compact there, the snowpack. Let's see. Deborah is in Cave City or Central City. She didn't see any rain in Central City. That's Muhlenberg County, but ice and did some melting without it. Well, that's good. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of you are talking about school situations again. I don't know anything about the school situations. I'll tell you the best way to find out if you don't know about school closings is to check the News 40 weather app on your phone because we put school closings there and at WNKY.com. And as soon as the schools tell us, then you know. That's how that works. Yes. All right. How about that? 30, almost 37 minutes. Yeah. Not a whole lot to talk about right now. Now that all this is going to be gone, I would just implore you, caution you that in the morning, when you get up to go to work, you're going, just know that there could be some icy spots anywhere in the 270. All right. And just use caution. It's a very strong possibility that that could be the case. And dense fog and freezing drizzle. I mean, we've had every precipitation type you can think of so far this winter. It's crazy. All right. Thank you for watching. God bless you. I'll see you in the morning, 6 a.m. on News 40, sunrise at 6 a.m. Then again, News 40 at 9 and News 40 at noon. God bless you. Thank you for watching.